Hi. Am I here? Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me, if I'm around. Okay, it says video will play after ads, which means I'm generally here. Okay, hello. I'm Shree. I'm your English educator for grades 11 and 12. Today we're doing some grade 11 revision. Hello Ayush. We're going to be doing MCQs for the very first lesson in Snapshots, which is the summer of the beautiful white horse. We've already studied this lesson in 2 parts, so we're going to start with before we start with that, let me just tell you when we usually meet. It is 3 to 4 every day, so you can expect material from 3 to 4 every day. Something or the other will be happening. On some days it is grade 11, and those days are Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. And this Thursday we are doing a quiz, as I said, and this is a quiz code. If you haven't used Menti before, you basically go to menti.com and you type this code in, right? I'm going to put the code down for you in the chat and you can use it. Just copy paste it if you want. The code is 23595854. While you're hopefully logging into Menti, let me know if you have any problems with that, if you need any sort of help with it, and I will get back to you on the chat immediately. While you're doing that, I want to let you know that there's something called Unacademy Combat. There is a scholarship test that Unacademy is offering for people in grade 11. You can take the test on 26th September at 1 p.m. You still have quite some time left to sign up for it. The link for it is in my description box. You just go click it, enroll for the test. It's just an hour long. If you do the questions, then you can win scholarships that are worth a lot of money, and it's absolutely free of cost for you to do. So consider doing it, just because it will be revision and because lots of benefits, So that's Unacademy Combat, and again, you can enroll from the link in my description box. There is also something called the Unacademy app that I want to tell you about. You can download it off of Google Play Store or off Apple App Store, and it's called the Unacademy Learners app, and you download it. It's absolutely free of cost for you to download, and it's absolutely free of cost for you to use. You can use a bunch of features on it. There are free quizzes, there are free mock tests. There is also this thing called Ask a Doubt, through which you can ask any doubt that you have to educators, and they will respond to you. So if you have any questions about lessons, if there's something that's not clear to you, then you can just use the app to access this feature. I have put the code everywhere for the quiz that we're going to have today, so make sure you're sort of doing that on the side and let me know when you're done so that we can start the quiz. There's also something called Unacademy Plus, which offers what we have on YouTube but more expansively, right? We do a lot more courses, we have a lot more study material which we give you, lots more practice tests, lots more live tests, and also doubt clearing sessions which we don't generally have on YouTube. So yeah, it's like YouTube but better, and these are the prices for Unacademy Plus, and the costs vary based on the duration that you take the subscription for, but you can take it for longer and it'll cost you a lot less per month. There is also something called Unacademy Iconic, which is, if you don't like classroom learning, if you'd rather learn on your own with just your teachers, then Unacademy Iconic is for you. It's very individualized, it focuses completely on you. You can work alone, you can work with your educator, you can get weekly reports on your progress, your parents will be able to keep in touch with your educators. It's basically like an alternative learning platform, sort of like school but just for you. And these are the prices for Unacademy Iconic, and again, the per month cost is a lot less if you take the subscription for a lot longer. And finally, I want to let you know that is today the 24th of September. It's the 23rd, so you still have one day to like take advantage of this special price drop. If you take the subscription within today or tomorrow, then you get a 5% extra discount. If you take the subscription for more than 12 months, then you get a 10% extra discount. And if you use my code, which is THER01, you get a flat 10% discount always. I hope you've all like signed into the quiz. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna discard my ink annotations and I'm gonna drag us back to the quiz code. The quiz code is 23595854, as I've already said, and I hope you've all signed in. Let's start the quiz in a bit. I'm going to start presenting it now. Hello Muskan. You're welcome, Ayush. I think it was a good idea actually to like do the quiz like now and again on Saturday. So yeah, thanks for the idea. Yeah, you can always leave me like feedback like that. That's very, very helpful for me. I get to figure out what you want, what you'd like, things like that. It's very useful. Okay, we're on the quiz. Start in maybe a moment. Let's just wait and see if maybe somebody else wants to join us. I'm good, Muskan. How are you? I'm glad the week is ending. I always like enjoy the weekend a lot. Yes, it is at the very end, Muskan. I have put it up this time. I have not forgotten, though I almost forgot again while I was making the quiz. Okay, I think we should go ahead and start. I want to warn you that this is not a very difficult quiz. It's just a very thorough quiz. By which I mean the questions aren't like especially hard, but they're from every corner of the lesson. So this will be like we kind of redo the lesson through the questions. Okay, wait, I'm trying to start, but my laptop is not letting me. So let's see what's going on with that. Can you, okay, something is wrong. Alright, my screen's gone blank. This keeps happening to me, but it means that eventually like the laptop will start working again, so let's just give it a minute. The rest of you who are around here, how are you doing? Hello Kashish. Good afternoon. Do any of you have exams soon? I know you have your term 1 exams coming up, but are your schools doing practices or anything like that? Okay, I'm gonna try to escape this again. Hopefully it will work. It's gonna happen, Muskan. My laptop is just malfunctioning a little bit, so I'm waiting for my laptop to start working again. Sorry about this delay. Oh, your English exam was today. How did your English exam go? Was it easy? That's so sweet. Thank you. Okay, I might have to like leave and come back, but let's hope it's not necessary. Oh good, I'm glad it's easy. I think I'm breaking up also. Let me know if you can still see me and hear me. Alright, I'll come back. Okay, give me a minute. and I'll be back. Couple of minutes probably. Okay, am I still here? Let me know. I am so sorry. Am I here? Okay, can you see me? Can you hear me? Have I lost all of you because like I just disappeared for this long? Lagging, something going on that's just like not great, or am I still here? Okay, I am still here, I think, and there are 4 of you here still, and thank you for waiting. And I'm just gonna start the quiz right away so that you know we can actually like get it done a little bit. Okay, there are 2 of you here, and that is still absolutely fine. That's a really cute strawberry. Okay, let us go ahead and start. Very easy question. Name the author. Oh no. Oh, the author of this particular story, The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, is William Saroyan. He is an Armenian American, and Aram is our main character, yes, but he's not the author, okay? He's just the narrator. The narrator and the author are very different in this case. So William Saroyan is the author. That's the extract. I hope you got a good look at the extract. And my cousin Mourad likes to be alive. What does this mean? Okay, we have like 8 seconds left. That's really surprising. We're all normally really fast at this. Chosen. Mourad finds life in doing unexpected things, and one has chosen Mourad finds life in riding horses. Whoever chose like it's the unexpected things, you'd be right. The crazy thing about Mourad, the thing that nobody can really understand about Mourad, is that he's very impulsive, right? He'll do whatever he wants to do in the moment without thinking about consequences or anything like that. So he finds a lot of joy in just living his life however he wants to without thinking too much about like what people want him to do. And why can Aram not believe what he sees? There are like a couple of right answers here. Okay, yeah, that's one of the right answers. Aram can't believe that he is seeing what he's seeing because first, there's a horse outside his window, and this has been like his dream to see and ride a horse for so long, right? Now it's actually happening and he doesn't know. So can't believe it because he can't believe that Mourad would steal, and he knows that they can't afford a horse. So what's happening is that Mourad definitely must have stolen the horse. So these are the 2 reasons that Aram is entirely shocked by this horse just showing up outside of his window. We're on question 5 of 25, so we're 1/5 of the way through the quiz. Yeah, what's the name of the family? This is again an easy question. If you have any questions about the questions or the answers, you can let me know in the chat and I will like you there also. Okay, the 3 people who chose Garo Clanian, good job on that. I deliberately spelled all of those really messily so you'd get confused, but you didn't get confused, which is good. You mean you got late replying to the... Don't worry about it. Mourad, I said, where did you steal this horse? Leap out of the window, he said, if you want to ride. It was true then. He had stolen the horse. There was no question about it. It's a very interesting scene. Oh no. Okay. Fingers very crossed. Yes, it's still working, thank God. This laptop is going to scare everything out of me. How does Aram arrive at this answer? How does he know that Mourad definitely has stolen, right? What about this scenario tells him that Mourad has stolen? Good job, Muskan. Oh, all 4 of you chose the second answer. No, Mourad does lie, right? Mourad very much lies, quite a lot. He tells Aram, for instance, at one point, oh, yeah, I totally only got this horse today. And at another point, Mourad also lies to the farmer. He is sort of oh, yeah, you can look at the, horse's teeth. Nothing will, he's sort of just very cool about it and stuff. Yeah, so Mourad is definitely, good at lying, right? It's just the fact that he doesn't answer that tells Aram that, Mourad has stolen the horse. Because the lack of an answer, right? If you ask a question, somebody doesn't give you the answer, you know that they're going to give you the answer that you don't want to hear, the answer that is the worst of the 2 options. Yeah, Arpit, it's a mentee and you can join us if you'd like using the code at the top of the screen. Muskan, that's okay, but do you want to just try choosing whatever answer you think of straight off the bat? If it's wrong, we can discuss why it's wrong. So that's okay. Yeah. Okay, which of these is not a reason that Aram gives us? So he gives us multiple reasons. He's this is why it's not stealing, this is why it's not stealing, this is why it's not stealing. But one of these is not one of those reasons. I put not in the question, which is to say that you have to pick the answer that is not one of the reasons that Aram gives. And Aram does say, oh, we're not going to sell the horse, so it's not stealing. He does say we're not going to keep the horse, so it's not stealing. He also says it's just a horse and it's not money, so it's not stealing. But the one reason that he doesn't give to explain away their stealing is that they're not hurting anyone. Which might be because he knows very much that they are probably affecting someone, right? So he can't use that as an excuse to say or pretend that they're not stealing at all. Oh, careful attention to the question. Yeah, the not in the title was important there. My cousin Mourad, who was considered one of the craziest members of our family, began to sing. I mean, he began to roar. Why does Aram specifically tell us us here that Mourad is crazy. Why is he especially shocked by Mourad's actions? Okay, three of you chose only Mourad could feel no guilt and enjoy the moment. That's not entirely true. Both Aram and Mourad have guilt in this moment, just sort of like trotting happily on the horse. And Aram finds it crazy that Mourad is singing, and then he says that he is roaring, which is to say singing really, really loudly. So what Aram is worried about here is that Mourad is singing so loudly, the volume is what he's worried about. And he's worried about the volume because the volume is going to catch people's attention, right? And this is dawn, this is like 4 a.m. This is when everybody is sleeping, and they're trying to keep the fact that they've stolen a horse secret. And here is Mourad sort of uncaringly just singing this loudly, and it makes no sense at all. And that's why Aram sort of like, Mourad began to sing and he began to roar, which is crazy. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, everybody who said Khosrove is his spiritual father. That is because in this family, the assumption is that craziness kind of just like goes from random people to random people, just passes on like without any sort of order or sense. And in this particular case, the craziness has gone from Khosrove to Mourad. They both share the same kind of spirit, same kind of energy. Zorab is Mourad's actual father. I hope I don't have a question about that, because then I just spoiled it for you. But yeah, he is his blood father. But Zorab and Mourad are spiritually Well, it's okay. You can all like choose Zorab and we can keep talking. Yeah, Mourad's actual father is Zorab, but his the person he is most similar to is Uncle Khosrove. Zorab is very pragmatic and practical, and he and Mourad share like no characteristics in common. And in contrast, he and Khosrove are surprisingly similar, even though they're just like uncle and like nephew. Mourad's father is not Aram. I'm not. Mourad and Aram are cousins. Alright, doing this quiz who maybe hasn't read this lesson at all. It's okay if you are, but if you're in grade 11 and you're not just doing this for fun, then like try to read the lesson sometimes. The spirit of our tribe have been from the beginning capricious and vagrant. Let's talk about the word capricious. Define it for us. What does the word capricious mean? Lost, wandering, confused, unpredictable, lost, wandering, confused. What does capricious mean? Okay, most of you have chosen the right answer on this one, and capricious means unpredictable. A vagrant can mean something like wandering. A vagrant is somebody who sort of just is a truant, which is to say someone who doesn't have a specific place they live in. They just go from anywhere to anywhere. So that's what capricious and vagrant mean. Unpredictable is capricious. Vagrant is when people don't live in one settled place. And now, what does this entire line mean? when Aram says this line, when this line is written in the story, what does it mean? I'll tell you why it doesn't mean that. It says the distribution of the various kinds of and vagrant. So Aram here is not talking about his family's characteristic. The fact that there's no thread connecting like who gets what characteristic. And Khosrove and Mourad are one example that we get, right? Khosrove and Mourad are so alike, and yet Mourad shares no similarities with his blood father, who is Aram. And just like that, you just can't tell who is going to end up with what characteristic. There is simply no kind of order to the characteristics being passed on in this family. So character traits are passed on in no clear order is the meaning of this line. And Aram is trying to tell all of us that it's not, character isn't genetic, right? It isn't like passed on from father to son. That's what Aram is trying to tell us here. Of course not, he said. But if we are found out, that's what you're to say. I don't want both of us to be liars. Who is the speaker of these words? So, of course not, but if we are found out, that's what you're to say. I don't want both of us to be liars. It's spoken by Mourad, and it's spoken by Mourad when Aram asks him, oh hey, how long have you had this horse? And Mourad says, only since today. And Aram's like, is that really the truth? And Mourad's like, of course not, which shows us that he's very comfortable with lying. And he's like, but if we get caught, then you will only be able to say that we started riding from today. So you won't have to lie like I'll have to lie and say, oh, it was only from today. And why is he offering Aram this option, this possibility? Why does he say these words? Okay, nobody has gotten the right answer this time. Mourad says this to Aram, and he says, and we should be very careful when we're reading, right? He says, I don't want both of us to be liars. So he's actually told Aram the truth. This isn't the day that I've started riding. I've been riding for some time now, but I don't want you to have to lie, is what he's saying. So it's not about hiding his secret. It's not about not trusting Aram. He does trust Aram, and he is quite very much shared his secret with Aram. And it's not about his family philosophy either, because he doesn't mention anything about being honest or everybody having to be honest. And if he cared so much about his family philosophy, then he wouldn't want to lie also, right? But he says, I don't want both of us to be liars. So he's saying, I don't want you to have to lie for me. So in some sense, he's trying to protect Aram from having to let down their family, and Aram from having to be a liar, right? So it's a more personal kind of thing that's going on here. We're on question 15, and we have 10 more left to do. Hello to Ashutosh. Oh, okay. See you, Ms. Khan. Thanks for joining us. Okay, Two things tell us that John Byro is lonely. One is that he learns to speak Armenian. He's an Assyrian and he doesn't know how to speak Armenian, but because he's lived in this country, he learns to speak it so he can speak to other people. He also, like, when his horse is gone, he walks like 10 miles to see his friends, which is a long distance to walk, especially if your leg is hurting. But both of these things tell us that he is lonely. However, we don't know that his horse is his only companion. We have no proof for that, so we can't make that argument. We can't choose that as an answer. Oh, Muskan, you're still here. Hello. I'm a beautiful white horse. And tail, honor, honesty, trust. Well, trust is a bit difficult to talk about. So is honesty, but honor, I think, is something that keeps coming back up. You could argue for all of those things. What is this Surrey? It is a carriage. It's a carriage with like gentle seats. So yeah, you attach it to a horse and the horse kind of like carries you forward in a carriage. So that's what a Surrey is. I think your best shot at that, Aman, would be all of the above. Oh, okay, so you can stay with us, Muskan. Did you have an exam today, Aman? How does Aram's mother explain Khosrove's anger? She gives two reasons. She's like, he misses his homeland and he's a big man, and so, you know, that's why he gets angry. That's the explanation that she gives to John. You know, Khosrove gets really angry at John Byro. Do you remember the phrase that Khosrove ends up like saying a lot? If you know what it is, then leave it in the chat. I'll check it in a moment. We have another extract question. The farmer, John Byro, I said. He visited our house. He wants his horse. You've had it a month. I want you to promise not to take it back until I learn to ride. Okay? Why does Aram go to tell Byro visits? What is the key reason that Aram sort of rushes to Mourad? The quote kind of answers this question, so if you read it a little carefully, then you... Oh no, those are some very split opinions. Aram goes to tell Mourad, as we can see in this like extract, right? He says, he visited our house, he wants his horse, you've had it a month. All of this is just communicating information. He's like, he came by, he still is thinking about his horse, and I know you've had it for a month now because John Byro said his horse has been missing for a month. But what I want from you and why I'm here is for me to make you promise not to take it back until I learn to ride. So he is very much asking Mourad to keep the horse for as long as possible. So the last answer is the right one here, and it's a very selfish thing that Aram is doing there. Yeah, I will take grammar sessions also, Aman, and writing sessions too. Oh, 20 MCQs in this chapter. That's really nice. Good morning, John Byro, my cousin Mourad said to the farmer. That's our extract. So you've gotten like a good amount of revision in for this question, for this lesson, I mean. That's good. What is happening in this moment? Conversation take place. What moment in the story is it? Okay, this is the moment in the story where Mourad and Aram, they take the horse out every morning to take a ride on the horse, and they come back and they put the horse in a stable that's been deserted. And this morning, when they're going back with the horse to put it in the stable, John Byro sees them, and he sees them with his horse. And it is in this moment that Mourad goes up and says, "Good morning, John Byro," which is an odd thing for Mourad to do. What does this tell us about Mourad? That he can the stolen horse is in his hands, and yet he can just kind of go ahead at a horse drum and say good morning. Yeah, he keeps his calm in a crisis, right? It's an incredibly stressful moment. If you stole something from someone and you have that thing in your hands, then your temptation when you see that other person is going to be to run away, right? But Mourad is calm, he's thoughtful, he's like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to casually seem like everything is fine. So he's very chill about it. So he is extremely good at lying, and he is extremely good at keeping his calm in a crisis. He does care about the consequences though, as we'll find out. It's actually just a very clever strategic reaction. A suspicious man would believe his eyes instead of his heart. We have only 4 questions left. We are very close to the end. When will I take grammar sessions first? Because literature is like a big portion. We're done with snapshots. There's one more lesson left. So sometime in the middle of October, the beginning of October is when grammar will start. John Byro says this. It is not Aram who says it. It is not Mourad who says it. Though Aram says something similar to this at the very beginning of the story. So it's kind of good that you're kind of confused by that, because they both do say quite similar things. Why does he say it? Okay, he trusts their family more than he trusts himself. That's the right answer. Yeah, that's what he means when he says, oh, I'm gonna listen to my heart, which tells me that your family, really values honesty, and so you obviously can't have stolen the horse. So even though my own senses are telling me you've stolen the horse, I'm gonna ignore myself. I'm gonna trust your family and its philosophy more. Whoever said he's trying to guilt trip them into returning the horse, we don't have proof for that. But if you get a question that says something like, oh, imagine what John Byro is doing, write this from the perspective of John Byro, then writing it as though he is trying to guilt trip them would make a very interesting story. Yeah, I would love to read that. The horse is stronger than ever, better tempered too. Okay, I think we have another who says this. Okay, no, we don't have another who says this. We have a what does this tell us? So what is the meaning of that particular line? Okay, interesting interpretation by the people of chosen. Byro wants to thank the thieves. However, he doesn't say anything like that, right? All he's saying in that line is really, oh, the horse is in better shape now. I don't really understand it. And all that we learned from that line, therefore, is that the boys took good care of the horse and that the daily runs have strengthened the horse, right? The horse is like a lot stronger now, and the horse is like gentler in temper because Mourad is very, very good with animals. Which brings us to the question, what does cousin Mourad not have a way with? And here, pay attention to the not bit again. There are some things that he does have a way with. Oh no. Okay, I hope this is working. And you can see this. Yeah, okay. What does cousin Mourad not have a way with? It's none of the above. Cousin Mourad has a way with horses, he has a way with dogs, he has a way with farmers, and he also like takes care of birds, right? We saw like the sparrow and how like it was letting him hold it and everything. So yeah, he has a way with everything that is listed here. And with that we come to the very last question, I think. Yeah. Why do the boys give the horse back? Okay, the second answer is not the right one. The first answer is not the right one. The third one is the right one. And we know this because their mental deadline to give the horse back was 6 months. It's only been 2 weeks since they've started riding the horse, so they still have like many months left until they hit their deadline. And they also know they're not afraid of getting caught because John Byro is completely willing to trust them, right? He's like, oh, I believe you. Whatever you say, okay, I'll just listen to it. But they still give the horse back, and they give it back after John Byro says that he will trust them, which suggests that the reason they give it back is because they feel bad that he trusts them and they're all just lying to him at the same moment. So it's a moment of conscience for these boys that pushes them to return the horse. And our scores. Okay, and Ayush, you seem to have like topped the scoreboard. Congratulations, and that's a really like cute bee. And good job to everyone else also. None of you were like very far behind or anything like that, and all of you stayed for the whole quiz, so thank you for that, even like despite the technical difficulties. So yeah, if you like this quiz, then leave a like. If you have any comments, suggestions, feedback, then let me know in the comment section. We're going to have this time on the address. It's going to be another MCQ mentee quiz on Saturday at 3 p.m. and we're going to do the second chapter of Snapshots. I hope I'll see you then. Bye everyone, and thanks for being so fun.